Hello and welcome to Hell, a podcast covering all things FC St. Pauli. Today we'll be focusing on St. Pauli's 7-goal thriller in the first round of the DFB Pokal against 4th tier SV Straelen, and then we'll look ahead to their next game, which is away to Kaiserslautern. And if there's a bit of time, we'll go over the latest news coming out of the Milan tour. So I'm Luke Clark, and I'm joined by my co-host Trevor Evans. How's it going, Trev?
How you doing? I'm good, man. I'm good. A little bit stressed, on edge, but all's well that ends well.
4-3s will do that to you, huh?
Yeah, right. It's a topsy-turvy roller coaster of ride, but as we say, we came out on the right side of the fixture in the end, and in the next round of the cup, which after last year's exploits, is what we want, another good cup run. As long as it doesn't get in the way of any Zweites Bundesliga promotion aspirations, then a good cup run's always beneficial too. So yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah, speaking actually of it getting in the way of the Zweite Bundesliga, I mean we know that Timo Schultz really takes this competition seriously.
Yeah,
We
right.
saw that from last year, and again this year in the first round against a weak team, he puts out a very strong starting 11. Should we be surprised, or is this just how Timo does it?
I mean, if it's how he does it, then great. We should embrace it. I can use it as match practice too. It's only the third game of the season, so the players are still gelling because there's still a few new players in there, right? And for Straelen, it's a completely new team. It's a completely new squad even. And it's like a cup final almost to them. So playing against a much higher opposition, there's a chance for them to put their name on the map. So they approached it very, very professionally, I'm sure. But for us to come out with a full strength team, because it's pretty much the same team we had against Hanover. So yeah, I guess that's how Schultz is going to play it this year, which is great.
Yeah, looks like it. So as you said, not a lot of changes from the team that drew 2-2 with Hanover last week.
Yeah.
Only the one change. It was Betim Fazliji who came in to replace Adam Zagala, and Fazliji was making his first appearance in the starting 11.
Yeah.
He didn't have it all his own way, let's say.
It was a
Conceding 3
tricky,
goals, you rarely do. Huh?
yeah, it's a tricky circumstance to come into, but I don't think he was particularly at fault, like direct fault for any of them, but had a contributing factor, especially a couple of the defensive frailties. But it's his first partnership with Medic and with Smash, so
Yeah.
it's a
So
good chance to test that stuff. So there you go. Back to Schultz's going with this lineup, playing a strong team is to test the team dynamics and stuff, get things right.
yeah. I guess if you're going to make those mistakes against any team, you want it to be against one that you can score for against to make up for
Yeah,
it.
right. That's right.
Um,
A bit of breathing space.
yeah. So Fazliji didn't get off to a great start. It was actually the first goal. I'm still not sure if it was him who was at fault or Eric Smith. They sort of bit of miscommunication there as they
Yeah.
were as Strelin were countering.
Well,
Uh,
we were discussing this, right? So I play midfield, like when I play 11 side. What position do you play?
Further forward, usually twinkle
Further forward,
toes
okay.
on the
A
wing.
twinkle toes, right? Okay. Well, as a combative defensive midfielder, similar to Eric Smith, a sixer, then I always thought it's the midfielder's responsibility until it's been handed to the defender. Like you can't just point to them behind his back and be like, "Hey, he's your guy." It's your responsibility until it's acknowledged, right? It's a communication relationship kind of situation. So I think it's Smith's fault to be perfect, but I mean it doesn't require three defenders to run towards the ball either, so
Yeah, that's true.
but
Not to keep piling on Fazliji. I mean, it was his first start, but another one of the Strelin goals where the ball got played in behind him and he just couldn't keep up and then got shrugged off. I think it
yeah,
was it on the Strelin second goal?
I think it's
Whenever
just like
they
they got it's a really nice ball through and it's just a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, but defenders usually have that extra yard or two in their mind, being goal side and just ushering the attackers out of harm's way. But he was outmaneuvered, I suppose, in that instance. Like that's what you're trying to. Like that'd be a perfect situation for you, playing right to be in that driving situation. The defender's a yard off the mark, quits in.
That's all it takes, especially with the pace that they had up front. Straelen today, they were light and quick, and they took advantage of it because there was a lot of space in behind that St. Pauli backline. They realised it quite early on in the first half that if they win the ball back in midfield, they just need to quickly put it in behind and get running at the goal because they were looking a bit shaky back there.
Were they playing on those frailties? Is that what you're saying? They've realised, okay, right, this defence is not what it was last year, where it was a strong point of our gameplay. Like, we didn't concede many goals at all in the first half of the season. It's a cornerstone of our success. But so far this year, it seems to be one of our biggest weaknesses. So it's kind of flipped on its head. And I guess maybe they're just playing to that. It's like, hey, put the defenders on the back foot, make them defend. That's where it's dangerous with them with the ball at their feet.
Are you concerned about the back line because they conceded 2 in each of the first 2 league games and then three again today? I know there was a change at the back, but
it doesn't
it's a fourth division team.
It shouldn't fill anybody with confidence, that's for sure. So if there's anyone that disagrees with this, then please step forth. But yeah, I mean, it's concerning to concede so many, especially in the manner too. If it's great worked teamed goals and you're going to concede goals. Like, it's football, you'll score goals, you'll concede goals. But the manner in which some of the goals have been conceded through miscommunication or individual errors, that's where it gets concerning.
Yeah. Well,
not to the point where I'm losing any sleep over it, because it's early doors and the team's gelling, etc. But definitely for the first few games, it's the results have still been going our way: 3-2, 2-2, 4-3. Very high scoring, very entertaining games, right? I mean, nobody can say they're not getting their value for money. But whilst the results keep going the way, then it's good. But as soon as that changes, we're conceding more than we're scoring, then it's a problem.
That's right. I guess that's the worry. If the goals start drying up for St. Pauli, then those defensive mistakes are really going to come to the fore. Today, luckily, it wasn't a problem. Scored 4. They were scored by Smith, 2 from Medic, and 1 by David Otto, getting his first goal for St. Pauli.
Yeah, right.
So out of those 4 goals, it came on just over 40 seconds. He was on the pitch before he got his goal,
and he's linking up with his former with Egerstein too, right? So, so they were. It's nice that they were able to combine to get each other off the mark there too. Because was that Egerstein's first assist as well? Like, he works really hard. He doesn't look like a natural killer goal scorer. He looks like a hard working striker that will chase shit down and work hard for the team. Very Bergstaller-esque without the goal scoring finesse, I suppose.
The physical presence isn't quite Bergstaller either.
No, that's right. But no, the work ethic and the chasing things down and working the channels as well.
Yeah. How do you feel about our new strike force?
It's a work in progress. It's you're an attacker, by trade. How do you feel? I mean, do you see goals coming from this to replace the goals that are being lost, or not lost, but that have been sold or lost?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Well, they definitely score more than me, that's for sure. But there was so many missed opportunities today, especially in that first half. The game could have been dead and buried within the first 20 minutes or so.
Was that lack of concentration, lack of luck, or just rustiness, lack of match practice?
Could have been match practice or confidence. It looks to me like Mantanovic, for example, is severely lacking in confidence.
Yeah, we need a big season from him. He's supposed to be the talisman. He's huge potential, huge future. Obviously, he's been snapped up already by Frankfurt and he's back on loan, etc. That relationship. But this is his breakthrough year, potentially. So the sooner that starts, the better.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't even mentioned the Saliakos red card. Came in the 77th minute. It was 3-2 to St. Pauli at that stage.
It was looking
What's your
comfortable.
take on it?
It was looking comfortable at that point, right? So okay, got our heads in front. That's it. We've had a bit of a scare. Let's control this game, see it through, get another goal for breathing, and for Trev's nerves, and then Saliakas goes and does that. Was it a straight red as well?
Straight red, yeah. It was rash. Like I still think it was a bit harsh, but it was
appealed,
also
so.
Yeah, true. It's a 2-match ban right now for cup games, but it has been appealed. I don't think it's going to get overturned because he was late. I mean, it did. I don't think there was much maliciousness in the challenge. He was just overeager and desperate to win the ball. The annoying thing is that it was in Straelen's box. There's no need for it at all. No danger.
I didn't even connect that, but yeah, 100% right. It's where you see strikers. They've got the defender pinned into their own corner flag, and the defender's desperate, and then the attacker touches them, they fall over, free kick. Like, dude, just usher them. But this is even worse because he's a fullback.
There's a bit more contact this time around.
Yes,
He was just second to the ball by a long way, to be fair as well. He tried to pull out, but still made contact. And can't say I'm surprised that he got the red, but I think it's a bit harsh. You can feel a wee bit hard done by. He was certainly shocked.
Well, it means that he can now focus on the league games, and Zander can have a cup run or something, or we change the shape to 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs or something. Should be okay. I'm sure Schultz has a plan.
Yeah,
if we need it,
more than capable.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a rock last season, so he's not. He doesn't seem to be as attacking as Saliakas, though. I've noticed that there's a difference in their mindsets. Like there's Pacarada attacking, then there's Saliakas, and then there's Zander, I think.
Yeah, and I was starting to enjoy the partnership that was building up between Jackson Irvine and Saliakas on that right side.
Yeah. Well, it's really on the left hand side. There's the Pacarada Hartl connection, and then if we've got Saliakas, Jackson Irvine on the right, with Smith in the middle, just anchoring and distributing, controlling the flow of play. That's a really cool structure to have within the team. So that'd be nice to initiate.
And I guess we have to mention Eric Smith. He's a free kick wizard, huh? David Beckham.
Where's it come from? Like, he's a set piece god all of a sudden. Like Pacarada was on everything last year. I think he's taken throw-ins on the right-hand side even at some point. He just wanted to take everything. But it seems like Smith and Hartl are having a bit more say this year. And yeah, was it a goal and an assist today from set pieces?
A goal and 2 assists, was it? So he scored directly from the free kick, took a bit of a deflection off the wall and sort of went through some bodies and somehow found its way into the bottom corner.
Yeah.
And then he also assisted Medic's header, right? It was from a free kick out wide.
Yeah, both of Medic's headers, yeah.
And then, if you can call it a Medic header.
Yeah, the one off the post.
Yeah, 90th minute, that one came.
Does that count as an assist from Smith then? Maybe that's why I was discounting it. Because it's off the post.
I would say so. That was probably the best of the lot. He absolutely rattled that off the bar or off the post, and it just Medic stuck underneath it, came back out and hit him on the back. Have you ever scored a goal with your back?
Have I ever scored a goal? No. Oh, with my back? No, I haven't. I don't think so. I'm going to try, though. Next time we're playing, next Monday, I'm going to try and score with my back.
Yeah, I don't think Medic knew much about it, really, but you'll take 90th minute winners, however they come in.
Yeah, of course. 90th minute equalisers, rack them up as well.
So, on just the general basis of play across the 90 minutes, do you think that Straelen will feel that they were a bit hard done by, or do you think that St. Pauli deserved it overall?
Yeah, undoubtedly, Straelen will be disappointed, but I think they exceeded their expectations from going into it, right? So they gave a good account of themselves. They can hold their heads up high. They'll take the confidence and the wave, hopefully, into their 4th tier campaign. And it seemed like a really good group of players. There was a couple of really their goalkeeper was insane in the first half. Couldn't get past him, except for the goals, but he saved a lot. But he was quite a commanding force. But I think they got more than what they wanted to get out of it. Do you? How do you think they'll be feeling today? Waking up this morning, be like, right, okay, that's it. Time to reflect.
Yeah, I can't imagine that Timo Schultz will be overly happy with the performance in general.
The St. Pauli side, yeah, but from Straelen's side, how do you think they'd feel? Sorry.
Oh no, they'll be delighted. I'm sure they gave a great account of themselves. Obviously they'll be disappointed to score 3 goals and still come away with nothing in the end, and for it to happen so late, it's a real kick in the balls. That one, I do feel for
against
them.
10 men.
Against 10 men as well. Jeez, kick them while they're down.
Yeah, right. Rub salt in the wound and all that jazz. But I mean, as you're saying, Schultz as well. So you started on what Schultz will be feeling today. So
yeah, I think the good news is that there's a lot to learn from this match. He had a good look at Fasligi at the back. I think he'll be able to. I think Medic will take him under his wing and make him a better player.
I think they'll make each other better players too, right? Because Fasligi seems a bit more composed, and Medic is sometimes a wee bit mad. Like we saw it today, he has moments of brilliance with a sliding, clearing tackle, and then a last-ditch tackle, but then moments of complete wrong-sidedness, defensive. How do I say this nicely?
Lapses in judgment, shall we say?
I was going to say ineptness, but yeah, lapses in judgment. Ineptitude, there you go. Ineptitude.
Politically correct.
But no, he's solid, right? And he scored 2 goals, but defensively sometimes when the ball goes towards like, whoa, please don't do anything stupid. So,
yeah, this match was pretty much a perfect encapsulation of Medic. He scored 2. He had an amazing last-ditch tackle on the box to stop Straelen from scoring, but still conceded 3 goals. Like, not to say that those were all his fault. Certainly not. I thought he had a good game. But there's a lot
the
of
previous games too. The other previous games where he's
before.
had the lapses with Smarsh and stuff, because there were 2 lapses against Nordemborg, and but I mean, season's young. Results going our way, but just need to nip it in the bud before we hit that rut where we only score 1, right? But then if we keep scoring 2, we're never going to win.
Yeah, over the course of the season, it's the strong defense is imperative. Especially in this league, you can't be leaking 2-3 goals every match and expecting to do anything of note in the Zweite Bundesliga. Yeah. That's got to be stamped out. Speaking of our goalkeeper, how do you feel about Smarsh and their 3rd goal? He gets caught out by a free kick.
Yeah, does he get caught out?
It was all the way out on the right-hand side. It was 25 odd yards out.
Completely right, but you just would. I mean, credit where credit's due. The strike from the Straelen player was insane. Like, because the margin for error and the accuracy and the power that he hit that, and the sheer balls to try that, right, at that stage of the game. Like, all credit's due. It's great, and the margin for error is so small, so he absolutely nailed it. And if I was a goalkeeper, I wouldn't expect him to be standing on the post from that distance, right? You'd expect to be in there ready to punch and clear the ball and to challenge for it or to catch it. So I don't know. I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I suppose. He shouldn't concede, no, but I'd be questioning, why is he standing on the post? Why wasn't he prepared to come out and claim the ball? So
yeah, I wouldn't expect him to stand on the post, but I still think his positioning could have been better there.
Just a yard or something, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. He was a good 3 yards off his line, because he was, as you said, he was expecting that a ball into the box. He was expecting a cross, and he did get across quick enough to get something on the ball. He just couldn't keep it out.
Yeah, I guess the extra
Was
yard would have made the
unfortunate.
big difference then, to be fair. Yeah, okay, maybe.
Yeah, and it's not the first time this season that Smarsh has come under criticism, is it?
I like him. I don't know why I like him. But he just seems to be off the boil right now. I don't know what it is, whether there's something going on in the background, whether he just didn't have a good preseason. I don't know. Just something seems to be off. But last season he was solid when he was called upon. He was obviously he's playing second fiddle, but when he was called upon, he was there and he made a good account of himself.
Maybe it's the pressure of being the first choice now, or not first choice, but the first choice fit goalkeeper right now with Nikola. Yeah, because Vasilij is out with a broken finger, and I think we can expect him to be out for another 4 weeks or so.
Oh right, wow, that long. Okay.
And there's even reports that the St. Pauli board are looking for another goalkeeper. Do you think that's necessary, or would you stick with Smarsh and
I'd stick with Smarsh.
Give him another couple of opportunities?
I would stick with Smarsh personally. But if these errors keep coming, then no. But if Vasil is not that far away, then ride it out. Because otherwise, if you sign somebody now, unless it's a very short-term loan, you're going to end up with 3 decent goalkeepers. And there's just there's no need for that in our league and our position. I'd rather spend the budget on an attacking player or a defender. We need a central defender. We're very, very thin there. So I'd rather use it for that. But if that's where they go, then obviously they've got a good reason for it. But yeah, I'd stick with 2 goalkeepers. Yes, Vasil is out, but that's why this Smarsh is that he's the backup. The chance of having 2 goalkeepers out is low. But then to have 3 senior goalkeepers seems unnecessary.
So you would look at the back line to reinforce out of all positions in the team?
Yeah, centre backs. I mean, Zirais left and Lawrence left, but Vasil is the only one that's come in, right? And Svigal has been repurposed as a centre back from a fullback. And other than that, there's nobody else really, is there?
David Nemeth is out injured, but I think he's coming back. Christoph Avivor.
Yeah. Okay.
He'll be back soon, I've heard.
Okay, maybe it's just a case of waiting for defenders to return then. Okay.
I mean, who knows how long it's going to take for them to get back to, full match fitness, and can we really be waiting that long for the back line to settle in? Yeah,
the damage will be done by then, right? 10 weeks in, right? The defense is finally ready, but it's unfortunately, I think it's the second half of the season that injuries really hurt us last year, but it seems like it's the first half of the season this year, or the very start of the season this year. So hopefully that's rectified quickly.
Let's hope so. So good news is, in the next round of the Cup.
Yep. I think there's still a couple of games to play in the Pokal, so the draw hasn't been made. But I can't remember when the next games are due to take place. It's like September or something. It's quite far away. So we've got plenty of time to focus on the league, get a good run going, and then learn who our next round opponent is, and then get excited about that again.
Exactly, yeah. And speaking of the league, how about that for a segue, by the way?
Man, have you been practicing in the shower? Speaking of the league.
Next up for St. Pauli will be Sunday, August 7th, 1:30 p.m. kickoff local time, away to Kaiserslautern.
Yeah, Kaiserslautern, they've returned to the big time, well, the second big time, after a few years away. So, yeah, big team, big club, huge history, lots of tradition, back in its Zweites Bundesliga, and hosting the boys in brown for the first time in a few years. So let's go down, steal the 3 points, and come back up the road. It's like an 1,100 kilometer round trip or something insane. So yeah, you don't want to go all that way and come back empty-handed. That's demoralizing in itself.
Yeah. But it's not definitely not going to be an easy game. Kaiserslautern,
No.
as you said, they are coming up from the third division, but they're a massive club. The atmosphere there is going to be insane. Huge stadium.
Well,
They've had a
as
decent
part
start to life in the second division as well, similar to St. Pauli. So they've got 4 points from their first three games. Or sorry, is it 4 points from the first three?
first 4 points from the first two, yeah.
4 points from the first two, yeah.
But then they lost against Freiburg in the cup, so
Took them the extra time though.
yeah. So hopefully their legs are feeling it, but they got a week to recover. So I'm sure professional footballers these days can usually do a game a week. They should be okay.
Yeah, I'd say they'll be all right.
I don't think we can bank on that.
Is there anyone that you think we should be particularly concerned about in the Kaiserslautern team?
I've picked up two. So I'm going to go with Eric Durm, who plays, I think, it's right back, and he's a World Cup winner. So I don't think he was an active member of the squad, but he's in the World Cup winning squad for Germany during his Dortmund days. And he's just been signed from Frankfurt, so he's only 30 years old, and yeah, I think he's going to be. He's played at that standard, right? You never lose it. He's probably didn't get the chances at Frankfurt, good team, Dortmund, good team. He played in England for a wee bit too at Huddersfield, I think a season or two. So I expect him to do something. And then they've got this guy up front, Terence Boyd. So American fella, played for the national team a couple of times. Nothing too concrete. But the scary thing there is he scored 9 in 13 games the end of last season. I think he signed a winter signing or something. Scored 9 in 13, and he's already off the mark this season. So I'm hoping he has a quiet day, but he looks like he could be dangerous, a handful.
Yeah, that'll be a big test for Medic and whoever lines up beside him, whether that be Zvigala or Fasligi.
Or if one of the other boys are back from injury, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't throw them in straight away up against Terence Boyd away to Kaiserslautern. I think that'd be a bit unfair. Because it is going to be tough. Kaiserslautern are managed by Dirk Schuster, and Schuster Ball is known for being tight at the back and then overloading the wings and getting it into a big physical striker, who in this case is Terence Boyd. So they'll have their work.
I think he's like 6'3" or something. So 1 meter 90. So he's a unit. So yeah, but Medic is a unit too. So let's see the clash of the big boys.
Yeah, see, Medic is a unit, but we don't have many other tall centre backs. And if you play Fasligi on the right hand side of the back two, it will be him and Saliakos, who won't be suspended because he's only suspended for cup games.
Yes.
So that might be a bit of a concern, especially against Kaiserslautern.
Irvine a centre back.
He is good in the air, we'll give him that.
That's what I mean, right? To him and Medic a centre back, not losing any aerial battles whatsoever.
That's true, but they'll be missing his goal threat then. So
yeah, true. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Well, Medic's just got 2 from centre back, so no excuses. Get him back there.
Right enough. There are 2 top goal scorers. Maybe they should both go up front.
Right, that's it. The other end, flip it on its head. Instead of defence, put them up top. No, good. I mean, from our boys though, who do you think is going to be under the microscope?
Well, until Smarsh finds some consistency, he'll be looked at every match, and I'm sure some of the Kaiserslautern players will be licking their lips at the thought of him between the sticks. The good news is that I can't imagine Terence Boyd doing so much chasing down of Smarsh, so the errors at the back might not come as frequently as we've seen in recent weeks. But yeah, I think he needs a big performance. Not even a big performance, just solid. No mistakes. Not in the back pages of the newspapers. Just I'll take a solid 6, 7 out of 10 all day long from Smarsh.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Just an error-free encounter would be good. He's in control.
Yeah, I think an hour free encounter for the entire match is wishful thinking. As we've talked earlier about how many goals we've conceded this year already. Kaiserslautern, they've lost the lead in each of their last three games, so it could be a wild one. Could be a lot of goals.
Or it could be very boring and be 0-0. You never know.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
What about anyone else from the boys and brown to keep an eye on from the attacking spectrum, perhaps, that you think is going to shine?
It'll be interesting to see who wears the armband
Yep.
between Paca and Jackson Irvine. They're now co-captains.
Yes.
And who wore the armband in the match against Straelen? It was Paca, wasn't
I
it?
think it's Pacarada. I think Pacarada's the only one to wear it so far this season.
Yeah, so maybe it'll be Jackson's first time with the armband.
Cool.
He's playing well this season.
Yeah.
He's added goals, so he'll be one to keep an eye on. And then our strikers as well. Hopefully, they start scoring. Particularly Matanovic, because I mentioned before he seems short on confidence. So maybe a goal will turn that around for him. Because there's a great player in there somewhere.
Yeah.
He just needs to get up and running for the season and get the weight of Bergstall off his shoulders and become a St. Pauli striker in his own right.
Without doubt, yeah, I think that's nail on the head.
So, do you have a score prediction for me?
Yes, I think I went 3-2 St. Pauli because I think it's going to be a bit crazy. But I think we'll concede, but I don't think there'll be any errors in the goals. I think it might be a case that hit on the counter or something. Maybe they score first, but we peg it back. As you just said, right, they've taken the lead and then lost it 3 times this season. So I'm going to follow that mantra. But then I think we'll come into it and control the game and get 3. So I think it'll be 3-2.
Yeah, I agree that I can see us controlling the match. Our midfield is very strong. I've been very happy with the start that we've seen from Harthill, Jackson Irvine, and Eric Smith. So if we have all 3 of them playing, I think we'll control the match. I went for 1-1 for my prediction though.
Right.
Just because the atmosphere there's going to be insane. They'll be well up for it. I think we'll concede because of our problems at the back. And to be honest, I don't think a 1-1 draw away the Kaiserslautern is necessarily a bad result. Obviously,
That's true.
Hope for the 3 points, but I'll take it. I'll take a 1-1.
Well, having said that, let's reassess next week, where we'll obviously review the Kaiserslautern game. We'll take a look forward to the upcoming game as well. Who are we playing after that?
After Kaiserslautern, it will be Magdeburg.
Okay,
That'll be on the Sunday following.
Yeah.
At the Millentor.
The Millentor, nice. Yeah, it's be good to turn the Millentor into a fortress again. Obviously, with the success we had in the first half of the season, 100% record, yada yada yada. But let's see if we can get near that this year. We won the first game, so it's 100% so far. That's the only home game we've had, so we're 100% great. Let's keep it going.
Nice one. All right, Trev. Thanks.
Pleasure. Speak to you soon, man. See you on the pitch and see you on here next week.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. If you search Welcome to Hell on social media, you'll find us on Twitter and Instagram. Give us a follow, and we'll be back next week.